Sarah is woken up in the middle of the night by a phone call at 3:23 a.m. She answers to hear the voice of her deceased brother, Charlie, who died in a car accident years ago. The call abruptly ends, and when she checks her phone, there's no record of the call. From that night on, Sarah receives the same call every night at the same time. Sarah begins to notice strange occurrences around her house. The air feels colder each time the phone rings, and her brother's voice becomes more insistent with every call. She is unsure whether she is hearing things or if something sinister is at play. Each call seems to bring a new chilling detail, but Sarah can't shake the feeling that something is terribly wrong. Sarah starts remembering lost moments from her past. A photograph album, left in an old dusty box, reveals Charlie's final days. She finds a note from Charlie, written shortly before his death, suggesting he knew something terrible was about to happen. The note hints at something more than just an accident, suggesting a connection between his death and something darker. The more Sarah listens to the calls, the more she feels like time itself is unraveling. Each phone call is not just a voice from the past, but a disturbance in reality, as if the fabric of time is being bent. The calls start to manipulate her thoughts, filling her with dread, and Sarah realizes she might be getting closer to a truth that could destroy her. Sarah reaches out to an old friend of Charlie's, hoping to uncover more about his final days. She learns that Charlie had been acting strange just before his death, hinting at a dark force that had been haunting him. The more Sarah investigates, the more she believes that these calls are not just from her brother, but from something far more sinister. Something trying to pull her into the past. Sarah finally confronts the entity behind the phone calls. She learns that the voice of Charlie is no longer just a memory. It is the manifestation of something much more malevolent. The calls start to reconstruct the final moments before Charlie's death, and Sarah finds herself being pulled back into those horrific moments, unable to escape. As the calls continue, Sarah's mental state deteriorates. The line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Charlie's voice becomes more commanding, and Sarah starts losing her grip on what is real. With each call, she is led deeper into a spiral of confusion and terror, wondering if she will ever escape the haunting presence that surrounds her. Sarah begins to piece together the events that led to Charlie's death, but with every discovery, the calls grow more insistent. She realizes that the phone is a portal, pulling her deeper into the past with each passing moment. The more she uncovers, the more she realizes that the past is not something she can change. It is something she is becoming trapped in. Sarah faces the darkest part of the mystery when she uncovers the true cause of Charlie's death. There was someone else in the house the night of his accident, an unknown figure that had been shadowing them. As Sarah faces this entity, she discovers that her connection to the past is far more personal than she imagined. She must confront this malevolent force or risk losing herself to it forever. Sarah finally confronts the spirit responsible for the calls, only to realize it is not just a single entity, but a trap. Every step she takes to break free only brings her deeper into a cycle she cannot escape. The final revelation is that Sarah is not the person she thought she was. She is a part of a time loop, stuck reliving the events of Charlie's death over and over. The phone calls are not just from the past, they are the only reality she can now exist in.